Hello, welcome back to Sunless Sea. So, with the upcoming Submariner expansion coming up in a couple of months, I've decided to have another look at Sunless Sea. So, when I logged in, I found I've got a visit from Mr. Sachs. So I assume this is a Christmas edition. So, midnight, a presence dominates your lodgings. Its fur-trimmed robe is the red of blood on snow. Over your chair hangs a familiar brown sack bulging with offerings. Londoners give generously to the crimson beast of winter, anything to get rid of it. The figure stares into the fireplace, smelling of soft musk and harsh ammonia. I require a sturdy vessel and a captain. Yours comes recommended. You will suffice. So I think we'll take his service. And he's boarded our ship. So let's read the morning papers. Let's have some time with our family. So let's give them a souvenir. Danger of breakage. Your child seems powerfully inclined to play with the artifact. Perhaps it will break, perhaps there's a jewel inside it, or a map, or a spirit. Perhaps it is edible, perhaps you should employ a more vigilant nurse. So I've gained 7 memoirs and lost the artifact. Oh, I want to go away to sea. Your child wants to sign on with a ship. Shall we permit it or forbid it? Let's permit it. So we've got Scion. I don't know how you say that. When you die, the next generation may take up the torch. In the meantime, they will live at home. Probably. Okay, Adventurer, no. Alarming Scholar. Let's offer an intriguing snippet. Okay. And let's just go to the shop. Actually, what have we got in the hold? Oh, a Shrine to Stone. Plus 7 hearts. Okay. Shops. I think we need the ivory for something, I can't remember what. Let's have that. Bolt of silk. Let's get some provisions. Okay. I think we're all ready to leave. Time to begin. First delivery. Deliver this to Khan's Heart or Pigmote Isle. Okay. So unlike the previous videos, I'll be editing this. I have just been to the dentist, so I can't always talk properly at the minute, but never mind. So off we go. So, in the service of the Crimson Beast. And off to Pigmote Isle we go. Okay, Pigmote Isle, let's dock up. And let's put Maybe's rival in the Chief Engineer slot, as she doesn't seem to be there for some reason. Right. The Rise of Pigmote. Help Marinia resolve a dilemma. Hairless Advisor, you return to us. Praise the tide, we need your wisdom once again. Okay. A dilemma on Pigmote Isle. A chill hangs over the chicken woods. The trees creak in the still air. The age shivers. Do you feel it, Hairless Advisor? They say a monster lives out there, where even our like cannot reach. Our farmers refuse to tend their mushrooms until they can be sure of reaching them in safety. But we can find no trace of the beast. What can we do? Suggest raising the chicken woods. Burn the trees. Leave nowhere to hide. Declare their fear superstition. The best weapon against irrational fear is a good distraction. A party perhaps. Let's do that. So again, fragments and Pigmotile spirit. New total 9. Delighted. So compile a port report. Steal the rat star. No, we'll leave that. And a delivery for Mr. Sachs. Ooh, free skintalak. Pigmote stored food diminishes quickly. Hungry rats and cavies stare at each other, a new glint passing from eye to eye as the cravings and stomach pangs spread. They stop to watch you in silence as you go past, mouths salivating. In the middle of a small town, a few of the hungriest begin digging a well. Okay, so first delivery done. So what next? Mr. Sachs produces a jewelled bird. The thief thought it would bring her riches. Perhaps it would, but when the gracious widow and the cheery man both covet what you stole, mere money ceases to be of concern. To offend one or make an enemy of the other, she sought a third way. A moment of inspiration that came too late. We want no part in this feud, settle it. So, take it to the Isles of Cats to favour the widow or the cheery man's agent on Mutton Island. Oops. Well, let's go to Mutton Island so we can get finished quicker, as the Isle of Cats is quite a way. Okay, off we go. Okay, let's make a quick stop at Abbey Rock just to see if anything has changed. Trade resources, port report. Let's knock at the gates with news. Okay. And let's watch. Like huge and deadly herons, the sisters stalk along the tops of the walls. So not a lot happened. Right, let's continue on our way. So here we are. Very uneventful journey. I've not seen any monsters or anything whatsoever. Oh, what's this? Okay, that's not an enemy, I don't believe. Let's not murder a lot of people again. Okay. So, a delivery for Mr. Sachs. The cheery man's fellow is drinking in the pub. No good deed. Our little lost birdie, well there's a thing. You have my patron's thanks and here is your reward. What was promised and is well deserved. One thing is, there's only 2 folks what might have his cheeriness property. And that's the one what stole it, and the one what bought it and figured they could sell it back like indeed you are doing right here. So it's nothing personal, mind. I'm afraid I must break something. Little warning to any of the others out there who might be thinking of being clever. Tell you what, how's about we make it fair? Use the coin, heads or legses. He flips it high, almost to the rafters. Rather than waiting for it to fall, you punch him hard in the face. The pub's clientele grumbles, but are soon mollified by free drinks all round. Pay forward with the money in the chap's pocket, of course, leaving a little for yourself. Okay. Let's chat to the fisherman. Nothing happening. Oh, let's have a drink. Lost 20 terror, so that's quite good. No, we lost 1 terror and lost 20 echo. That's not quite so good. Right, where do we go for our third delivery? Avid horizon in the north. Mr. Sachs is staring at a small wooden box as you enter the hold. Inside, wrapped in a few pitiful scraps of velvet, is a lock of blonde hair and a set of teeth, carefully polished, barely used. The winter was harsh, the fire went cold. Later the mother wished to forget, a convenient tragedy. Okay. Let's head north then. So, here we are at the Avid Horizon. As soon as you dock, Mr. Sachs lumbers ashore. He has been preparing for this. Plunging a hand into its cloak, it removes a handful of ammonia-scented snow. It places it on the ground and adds another on top. Into this one it presses the teeth and the hair from the small box. Potential substance. Only one thing needs to be added as the tales of the gnomon. The Crimson Beast of Winter waits impatiently for you to provide it. So, what we got from that man on the voyage was some blood. So shall we substitute the blood or give him our blood? I think we should substitute it. The corrupted essence of life. You move to cut your hand with your pocket knife, but the vial clutched in your palm keeps the blaze safely from your flesh. You tip it carefully, dripping a few drops of the thick blood into the pile. They fit in the lacquer, which softens and melts into a puddle of snow. A hand emerges from it, then a head, then another hand, stretching as it clambers up from nowhere, the twisted face of a gargoyle rippled with red blood. It screams, the monster throws its head back, blood wells in its hollow eyes and drips down its half-formed face. The nascent arms explode into wings of shining ice as sharp as any razor. It bends backwards, new hands clawing at its eyes. Just as abruptly as the scream began, it stops. The shape collapses, melts. Mr. Sachs looks away. Another failure, it intones, stepping through the pile on its way to the Avid Horizon's sealed gates. It rests gloved hands against it, basking in the chill. The whisper of a place too cold for gods, refreshing. Your service is done. Be gone before I change my mind. Something new will shortly appear in your lodgings. Okay, so let's head back. That's strategic information. Below the sign, an authoritative hand has carved this message. If you wish to return to London, if you seek the forgiveness of the Empress, if you will sacrifice all to make amends, record your name and crime. Below are the names of murderers, traitors, hopeless villains who fled into exile. They made the icy pilgrimage here to the end of the world to prove their desperation to return home. You record them all, the old and the freshly carved. Okay. And get our port report. Okay, let's head home. Hopefully we'll get there. Haven't got that much fuel. So here we are, nearly back at London. Let's see what we've got from the not so jolly Santa Claus, the Beast of Winter. Collect our messages. The Rose Market bustles on Rose's Wharf. Who will be there today? Okay, so I think that's the news story. Do that next time. So, let's pass on strategic information. Port reports. Well, I think we paid for our fuel anyway. Okay. So, needs strategic information from Mangrove Swamp. Grab some fuel. Okay. So, where's this thing? Is that our lodgings? Here we are. Delivery from a grateful friend. Several crates of wine sit in your lodgings. A note on the top reads, "For your service and discretion, J." A medley of fine vintages. No, it can't be. Greyfields, 1868. A few bottles of the Broken Giant, 1844. Isn't that from before the fall? Only Mr. Wines is said to stock these in any quantity, and it reserves them for itself. And the very few for whom it considers itself on intimate terms. You extract the best ones for personal consumption, the rest will fetch a fine price. Okay. No longer have any of the vial of highly questionable blood. So, let's go and sell some wine. Now, do we need the Scintillac? I think I'd better have a look before I sell any of that. And let's just check if I need the wine as well. Okay, let's leave it there for today. So that was Mr. Sack. His somewhat strange deliveries. So I'll leave it there till next time. So bye bye for now from the lovely Sunless Sea.